consider having one of our commissioners here right now. Okay. And we have two guests on the agenda tonight. One is Jim Zaccaro from Auburn, who said he may be late, and so we'll hold his discussion until he shows up. We have Danielle Zabel, Auburn Crossings.
Yes.
Okay.
Ready?
Welcome. All yours.
Oh, my goodness.
Yours.
Thank you. All right.
Get right into it.
Brought the guests with me. Is that okay?
Sure.
This is Tom, Russ, and Nathan. We just had a couple. I'm sorry, I thought there were only three. So I only have three. But we just had a couple questions. We are all from Auburn Crossings, which is the single-family section of Auburn Lakes. If you're unfamiliar. And we basically just had a couple questions as it related to kind of next steps of what we should be doing. There's a couple items, two buildings, one being owned by the Homeowners Association of Auburn Lakes, and one being owned by the Homeowners Association of the Woods of Auburn Lakes. And both have kind of created a bit of an eyesore, both in the entryway to our community and as you exit the community. And we kind of wanted to just come from a point of curiosity as to what you guys thought we should do with respect to the two different entities. We've taken it up with both boards, just kind of from can we work together, can we compromise, and they were very unwilling to hear us out. So we wanted to know what your thoughts were and what we should be taking the next steps as.
Well, beautiful thing about private property. Private property.
Right.
And, right off the bat, I mean, we have no say in what is done on private property unless it's in violation of our zoning code.
Okay.
And I believe, Frank, you have looked at the issue here?
No, I have not.
Okay. Let Frank take a look at it.
Sure. A couple of the points, too, and of course we recognize that it's private property, and we're not asking them, although it would be great, we're not asking them to tear them down. We understand that they're for a feasible point and purpose, but we're just more or less asking if we can compromise on some of the things. For instance, we plow all the way through that street. They don't. We pay for that to be done, but yet they are taking ownership of either side of the land. So they're utilizing it when it's convenient, but not really truly utilizing or paying for the things that need to be done. The entranceway, or I should say the entrance to the street, we've paid to have it mulched, we had the sign repainted, we had it weeded, and it's not on our property, but it appears as you turn down that road that is the beginning of Auburn Crossings.
There is a definite point, though, that's one that separates one. So I'm a little confused. Your sign's on their section, or your sign's on your section?
It's just the sign to the street. Like the actual street has a sign. It doesn't say "Welcome to Auburn Crossings." It doesn't say
no, but
anything.
I'm just saying, yeah, okay.
So it's on the Woods' property?
It's on the Woods' property.
Yes.
Okay.
But we're maintaining it.
Okay.
All right, so they own like the 200 feet or so at the end of the road there, but we still plow it, obviously, so that everyone in our community can use it. Otherwise, they kind of are using this as a service road and not take care of it.
Right.
Right.
They plowed, or they resurfaced all the roads Auburn Lakes did in their side of the association, but they didn't do through that street. So it's kind of, again, they're not taking ownership of their property as when it's not convenient.
Yeah, well,
And we're not
when it comes to resurfacing, that's a real just like we would never do a county or a state road, because boy, if we did, we'd be overstepping our bounds. So I'm sure that's where the paving aspect comes in. But as far as the sign and whatnot, I don't think has that ever been an issue? Now, there's been a long-standing, okay, you do know that.
We know.
Right? So, this is not something that just happened in the last few months. This is a long-standing thing. That goes back, I can't tell you how many years, but a lot. So,
But the new trash bin area that they added is a recent thing.
Is that on?
That's really part of
their property.
It's on the Lakes' property, yes. And again, our kind of thought on that is they beautifully board-on-board fenced it all the way on 3 sides. It looks really nice. Auburn Fence did it. It's very well done. But then on the front, when you drive past, it's chain link. So it's kind of like, the side that you see when you look in and you see the dumpster and the paving materials. And again, we completely get it. It makes sense. They're buying things in bulk to get a better price. Why wouldn't you do that? We understand completely.
So we met with their board about a month ago. We had a first meeting like this, reviewed some of these points. We were asking for specific things, like, hey, can you please replace the front chain link fence with the board-on-board fence, like the other 3 sides, which faces their each way. And they were not willing to do that. So.
For reasons that were out of our control, too. Their rationale for not wanting to put the board-on-board fence up is they felt that they were being protective of themselves because they feel that the teenagers are doing hanky-panky, as he said, within that. And he said that that would be an area where they would go to hang out. So, we had said, okay, can we put motion detectors up or something like that that would...
Instead of a locked
deterrent.
No, in addition to a locked gate.
Or landscape.
That'd be trespassing.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. There's 3 sides.
They want
One side's open.
They want the fence on the side facing the road.
And they're doing their hanky-panky. They wouldn't do much good because it's open to the road.
But yet they didn't replace the current one, which they were having vandalism problems with, apparently, with the chain link fence because it's right near their entrance. So.
Right. And we show, too, in the little packet, they have another fence within their community that is fenced all the way around, board-on-board. It has a lock on it. You can see it, but that happens to be one that's almost right in front of their entranceway to the association. So
it's kind of contradictory of the
exactly.
rationale.
Landscape and mulch and everything.
Exactly.
Versus what they left over with this stone road, leading up to it.
Right. And then on that same point, from the contradiction standpoint, the Auburn Woods has, if you read through their decks and bylaws, in over 1,000 words, spelling out about the Landscape and Aesthetics Committee that they have that strictly regulates the landscape and aesthetics for their community, yet this monstrosity sets on their property, and it's okay to just completely be left a dump, literally.
But I'm assuming that they can't see all that stuff from their side.
Correct. That's
Backside
correct.
the woods from their area.
Yeah, it faces our way.
I don't know if we could just facilitate some kind of... maybe we could help facilitate some kind of dialogue or something. I don't really see where...
Yeah, we could... call it.
We were able to end the 100-year war with Bainbridge. So maybe we could.
Yeah, compared to that
fire. Well, we just took the codes out of the missiles. We still have all the missiles. I think that's probably. We're not a. I don't see where we have any authority. But I guess what I'm saying.
No, we definitely have no authority.
I'm not going to speak for Frank, but...
No, and I guess that's what we're asking is what should
we're
we...
having Frank give it a cursory review here to see if there's anything that...
I'm just thinking, is there somehow this is I think the result of the, this will be the 30-year war, or actually probably about 15 or 20-year war. And is there any way, maybe we can help just mediate something? That's the only thing I think we can do, to be honest with you.
We'd certainly appreciate that, and then appreciate
the things you're bringing up, they do all make sense.
Yeah, we tried, we wrote up a nice letter. We met with them in person. We're just going to resolve this stuff. Kind of at the end of our rope,
those things they slide in the chain link fence to keep them from being see-through. Ever seen those things? Would that something like that work?
Those strips?
Yeah.
They're like a plastic strip, and they kind of go in at a diagonal.
Yeah, that would probably work if they were willing to do that. And
that's not by any means expensive.
Well,
I don't think they're concern was the cost. It was
I mean, I believe I'm just guessing, if you had come in and said, our association will pay the cost of that, they probably still would have gone for it.
That's correct. Because we even said something along those lines. Can we split the cost, or can we kind of compromise on some landscaping? But their reason is because they want it to be see-through.
That's their
secure reason. They're using the security issue of what's behind there. The equipment and everything not getting damaged. I can see that.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's from the community that all locked in. Yeah.
Well,
no, and
that might be the only thing to try, John. I mean, to try to
Don't you think if we could do that, maybe, that's the only I can come up with, that, I don't think we have any other real authority.
No, we don't.
I'd have to go back and pull out the PUD zone and review it. But
Okay, Frank, just do that. Just give it a cursory review against our original zoning in there.
because remember, we had PUD, now we took it out, so we'd have to go back. I'd have to go back and pull it out and go through it. And that's what I'll do.
How long has this been up?
The Auburn Lakeside is just a couple months. That was done this summer, right?
The one with the chain link.
Yeah, the chain link fence. The other one, as you know, is done.
Probably about 3-4 months.
Okay, well, that's an issue because that would fall under the residential guidelines, wouldn't it then? R1?
Well, the buildings have been there quite a while, correct?
That's what she says.
Right.
The fence that page is new.
Right.
Across the street.
It's on the west side of the street. The woods, the next page is on the other side of the street. Which is different HOA, different building,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we require some opaqueness in these fences so that board on board might not.
That's what I said. That board. The only thing I can do is pull that out because it's no longer in our existing resolution, so I pull the old one out.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That would be helpful just to kind of help us facilitate and help us at least give direction as to what the next steps would be.
Okay.
Can I keep this one?
Yeah, here, Frank. This folder.
Thank you.
We have all your, okay.
Yes, you have all of our contact info.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Something like this doesn't happen overnight.
Oh, absolutely. We understand.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Danielle? Okay. Minutes. Okay. We have the regular meeting minutes from July 7th, 2014.
I didn't have any changes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Hearing July 7th, 2014 on the proposed budget. And I have no comments on those.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Okay. All right, we have a special meeting of July 28th relative to the 2 mil additional road improvement levy. I'll make a motion to approve. Any comments?
No, I have no comments. I'll second the motion, though.
John?
Yes.
BJ?
Yep.
Yes. And then we had an additional meeting on July 31st, and that was for also relative to the levy. And I didn't have any comments on that. John, PJ, any comments?
Nope. Motion.
Okay.
I'll second it. John?
Yes.
BJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Okay, they're on opposite sides of the... All right, scheduled reports. Zoning, Frank Pico.
So I have a report for July report. We did have 5 new accessory buildings over 200 square feet, which was kind of big for 1 month, I think, but overall everything else was pretty quiet. Still working on some erosion control issues with a few people, and one of them is in Mooring Woods, and the other one is down what I call the road. I have to get or somebody from Sugar Watershed Partners to come out and give me a delineation. Other than that, about it.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Questions for Frank? Okay, we'll move on to Amber Gordon. Status of our roads.
Alrighty, Auburn Township Road Department report, July 2014. Asphalt patching continued on Bartholomew Road, Fork Road, and Ann Lane in preparation for our road projects. We're all done and now we're poised and ready to have them in. I believe the 18th is the start date for the asphalt resurface. Ditching was done in Hunters Creek and on Marydale Drive, Stafford Road, Franks Road, and Thorpe Road. And once again, that was in preparation, and the engineer's recommendations was to open up the paving and chip seal. Burn repair was done on Wing Road and Bartholomew Road, using number 1, so it was about 2 weeks. The balance of our allotted road salt was received and stacked in the dome. We currently have approximately 1,000 tons of de-icing material on hand, and that extinguishes last year's contract. 5-footers for monuments were poured in the cemeteries, and there were 2 full interments. And I do have 1 additional footer that we have to take care of. The new township truck was delivered to Joe's Equipment and is currently being outfitted for service. The 2000 International Township truck was picked up for trade-in. Down tree was removed from the corner of Lindsay and Jennifer Lane, and brush was cut and also removed on Victoria Drive. There was 1 sheriff call for the repair of road signs damaged in an accident on Bailey Road. Both the directional arrow and road name sign were reinstalled. Mowing, disking, and grading of the additional 4 acres is begun at the Auburn Community Park. The trees blocking the walking path were cut and moved. Ruts on the edge of the drive were filled with 3 or 4 gravel. The Eagle Scout flagpole project is completed. Trenching for the installation of the electric service was done, and panel and meter box in place, and the inspection was done last week. Also, the unused pile of fill sand was removed and brought to the department garage. That's all I have.
Amber?
Very welcome.
Any questions for Mr. Gordon? The reports, Mr. Everett.
Just a really quick thing. We need to order a bracket, a pivot bracket for the bottom of the boom when the boom connects to the tractor. It's a 2-way pivot. It's the original bracket. Been welded countless times, and that's probably been a downfall bracket because it hasn't lost all of its temper to it. But you're looking, I put a requisition in here, you're looking at about 21,000 for that. it's way cheaper than renting a mower or obviously buying a mower. So the mower's like brand new.
Is that just the part or part installation?
No, that's just the part. We're doing installations.
We'll bolt it, bolts on.
Bolts on or
It's pins, 200 pins. And it's a point of articulation that holds the it's a big piece, and they're doing one-offs now because that is a discontinued part. So
It's probably 30, well, 40 years old.
So yeah, the pieces, that piece itself is 30 years old, and that's what actually holds the entire weight of that boom arm when it's up in the air.
6600 Ford, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what that is? It's probably close to Ford.
Yeah.
Well, the boom attachment, I believe, purchased.
So anyway, I'm just kind of cautioning you that that's why that's coming down the line here. But I authorized to order that thing, get it in, because we do need to do some mowing. We've been doing mowing, and it's like a brand new 40-year-old mower now. But we think we can squeeze a few more years out of this thing. I mean, we're getting at. I'm not sure what the finite life of this is, but we may be reaching it. Anybody know of any mower museums?
We're out now doing the 3 passes.
Yeah, we want to do 3 passes.
And then when the leaves drop, I'll go ahead and just pour it on top of the back bank and start to push there.
Get the berms all cut back. And other than that, so like I said, we're ready for the projects, and so let's go.
Anything, Jim? PJ?
The only thing I had was concerned some of the baseball setup. Is that why the park's on the agenda?
That is on there for what we've got is these items here.
Okay.
You want to go over those while you're talking about them?
Yeah, she and I discussed this a little bit today. It's some folks like Casey have been helping us put together necessary things for get the fields ready at the park, one of which is the baseball field. We've got some estimates from Mesa Sporting Goods, which I assume is a catalog business.
Yeah.
Industry standard kind of stuff. Mound and batter's box 1600, base and plate 1800, and the anchors, including the material and labor to install, are at $1,000. And I kind of asked her, Mike, if this is a catalog business, what are we buying? I mean, I don't get it. I'm the first one to tell you.
Can't envision the description of those things.
I mean, 1,800 for 4 bases? No, I can't. I don't. I don't know.
I think if we could just
I understand anchoring, but putting the anchors in, obviously, because once you get your baseball field measured exactly where you want it, you got to have monuments for where everything goes to do maintenance.
with no real reference point as to the reason.
Yeah, I'd like to see the page of the catalog copied or something before we move along with that. But, the rest of it's a little bit more self-explanatory. Broad went $10,000 for infield dirt, 45 tons at $220 per ton. And obviously that's not just fill dirt, that's quite a bit better. Yeah, I understand that. Yep. Auburn fence for labor and cost of miscellaneous materials to install the backstop after we install the poles. It's at $6,000. And Radix Landscaping, $2,500 for fertilizer, straw, and labor to plant 2 acres of athletic mixed seed donated by JMD. 20 yards of topsoil and grading around electric trenches and concrete pad around storage building. We'll do seed. All that's kind of self-explanatory as to what's going to happen there. But the basis, let's see what we're buying before we commit to that. That's my suggestion.
Well, you want to just approve at least set aside some money for the budget pending approval of the basis, or you want to just go ahead and approve the budget, the base allocation? Or we want to hold the other ones up, waiting for the...
We've got a wide variety of things here to approve. I almost think that the amounts, we need to do this one by one. Do we? What do you think, Fred?
You could approve just a amount. Leeway, but then again,
Well, we've got about 25,000 there.
what would it apply?
About 25,000, right?
I mean, I guess it would make sense to me if we did one allocation for the landscaping grounds improvement, and another maybe for the bases, acres.
I was approached for the road department to do the excavation of the infield itself. I'll be pulling out 6 inches of topsoil there. Why couldn't I take that up around the cement around the garage there? I have to dig out the infield in order for them to. I'm going to have all that soil. That's there.
That's all topsoil.
Yeah, it's all topsoil. It's beautiful. Instead of throwing it away, why don't I utilize that around the building? The road department.
we just take it, store it as we need it.
All right, was that mentioned in there?
Yes, it was. 20 yards. How much you taking out?
The diameter of the field is 6 inches deep, so.
Having studied a little bit about how to build a baseball field in the last couple of weeks, I think 45 tons is short. This is my preliminary judgment right now. I think we need to hold off on this a little bit, at least till the next meeting, because there's actually charts on how many yards and everything you need to do, and the preliminary numbers I was coming up with considerably more. Maybe I'm not sure, because we're going to do it all dirt. There's no grass on the infield.
Right.
There's no pitcher's mound there, but so that saves. But I think on that number one item, I'd like to study that a little bit more.
And number 4 sounds like Emmerich might be able to offset some, if not all of that. And like I said, I'd just like to see what we're purchasing if there's 5 through 7 items.
Hold off for the next meeting, just get whatever information we need.
I think
that's the most prudent.
If Auburn Fence can set the backstop up for that price, that's
I was under the assumption that
there's no way.
maybe to take part in that.
Well, you were going to be setting the posts, I guess. So what's your time frame on that project?
Well, right now, because of
this
the
is to
inclement,
install the whole backstop.
because of the inclement weather, I can't get back up and to finish the grading of the additional acreage, which is where the baseball
Right,
diamonds sit.
so the key thing is that none of this is really time sensitive because of the wet.
Yeah, correct.
That price there's for the whole thing. That's the involved of us.
Right.
We have 4 guys up there.
But I'm just saying though that if we can't set the poles, Auburn Fence can't put up the fence, so.
Right. We have fence, yeah. We have
So I think I just think I'd rather do a lot.
Okay.
Well, going further into Nancy's notes, and I noticed this when I was sitting on the other side the other day too. We've got some carpeting's kind of getting a little loose there. I guess in the office, which when we had the broken water pipe 5-6 years ago, that's shown some long-term damage there after being flooded. So she's got a quote here. I don't believe there's any real urgency to move on that either, but you don't want somebody tripping in there either on this carpeting. So, like I said, I don't see any reason to act on this
No, we can hold
immediately, but
That's no
start
problem.
looking at some numbers in the budget and see what we want to do and when we want to do it. One other conversation I had today is in regards to Auburn, the issue up there in the back of Auburn. I talked to, you heard us reference zoning and fences and how this is going to play in with some zoning that no longer exists, and planned unit development zoning, and fence, how it addresses fences in residential currently, and Frank's going to work on that. The other thing, and this is, and I'll do this once in a while, I'll talk to planning on the chart, and architectural review, which would be the design of the fences or the design of the building or something like that. Townships had the ability to do that 30 years ago, and then somehow it was lost, probably a couple of court cases where something went wrong. And for 20 years throughout the 90s, townships themselves could not reference building styles, building types, materials, anything like that. Just locations, setbacks, things like that. I guess it's back now. Has been for a while. David Dietrich of Planning says that there's no township in Geauga County or anywhere that he knows in this part of the state that has brought back an architectural review situation. Probably, I'm guessing, based on the fact that it all got thrown out a few years, 25, 30 years ago. But he did, this is one of the more respected and easiest guys to work with in the county. And he just went on off the top of his head to explain how this works. Would be either architectural review is set up by the Board of Trustees, the zoning inspector, or special state regulated or state described architectural review board. And the question is, beyond setting these standards, how is it ever to be enforced? And I asked David today, I said, how is this enforced? He said, we have no idea. So it's not something, we're going to, as Mike and John explained, we're going to work the good neighbor angle, but, to set up the type of a fence or the type of a building is really not something that this township, or it seems any other township in the area.
So the whole architectural review aspect of it, you'd have to get so specific, because if you're just using general terms that are hard to define, New England style, what does that mean?
Right.
So,
well, it's there. It's available to townships, as David explained to me today, but nobody seems to want to get on that horse. So I think I understand that.
There was some talk about that when we did the village retail, making village retail zoning and all that. There was going to possibly be some architectural review so that all the buildings would look, have the same type of siding.
where all those issues kind of came up,
Yeah, and it was. I don't think we want to go there.
So we have looked at what's going on up there. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Anything else,
PJ? That's all I got.
Fred?
Okay. Warrants before you. Warrants number 1832 through 1857, totaling $36,581.89 for your approval. You have a list of those warrants in front of you. Also given you the revenue status as of today, fund status and appropriation status reports all as of today's date. I have to request a couple of motions. First motion that I'm requesting is a motion that would approve myself, Mr. Troyan, and our administrative assistant to be authorized to use the Township credit cards that we'll be getting from Brookfield Bank. And that motion is required by the bank to issue those.
Okay. So essentially chairman,
Administrative
fiscal officer.
officer.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
And to have cards issued in each of those individuals' names.
Can you go hide mine in a drawer somewhere while I would never see it?
Yeah, absolutely. Freeze it in the freezer.
Excellent. Okay. Then I'll make so moved.
Second.
Is that you, John?
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And, we talked a little bit about the generator project. I need a motion for a supplemental appropriation within the 2191 fire levy fund of $72,391.20. We have the money there. It's not been appropriated, but we need that money to pay the Kennington contract. So that's $72,391.20 as approved, as the contract was approved on May 5th.
Okay.
So moved.
Questions?
No, I get that. Yeah, that's what we did.
Okay. PJ? And John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
That's all I got.
All righty. Okay. Under new business, check subsequently buried. We had an upcharge order for Chagrin Valley Paving. This has been submitted by Nick Goris, Jackson County Deputy Engineer. We need to add $9.60 per cubic yard to a total of 1,115 cubic yards. I guess the original quote from Chagrin Valley Paving specified a different gravel, and the engineer's office didn't catch it. So that's going to be a upcharge order of $10,704. And it was for the projects for Marydale Drive, Ann Lane, Victoria Drive, Orange Lane, and Stafford.
Now, it was in the specs for different gravel, or Chagrin Pavers quoted different gravel than everybody else?
Chagrin Pavers quoted different, that's what I've heard. They quoted different gravel, and it wasn't caught by the engineers when they reviewed the specification. Is that a motion to have the engineer's office pay for it?
Well, let's see. Chagrin Valley Paving didn't do anything wrong then. We don't seem to have done anything wrong. It's interesting.
Yeah, it was initially called out as the asphalt concrete. It would have been a gravel mix, and the engineers have always in the design plan used the limestone mix. And we're switching over to the limestone mix as per their recommendation.
But Chagrin quoted gravel.
I'd have to talk with the engineers on this about that. They said they didn't catch that. And it's only the surface course. It's not the base. It's not the intermediate. The surface course and the driveway easements.
Here's a question. I mean, this is like an 800-pound gorilla. Did they win that by $10,704?
Yeah.
They were clear of everybody by over
I
that
think
amount.
the coasting was the next one up.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't have the numbers. I'd have to look. I'd have to go back and look, PJ.
When's their start date, Emma?
The 18th. What's the next one? Which should be the next meeting?
I mean, you know,
Would be the 18th.
fully respecting what the engineer recommends here, but if they didn't win that bid by $10,705,
Well,
what the hell are we doing here?
Well, I think if that was the issue, we'd be rebidding the job. That's the only option.
Do we have minutes in there, Fred? I mean, we could find out real quick here.
I could go grab the minutes and take a look. We're going to need, I don't know, is it going to specify what materials they...
No, it'll just say what...
We'll just give you the total.
If I'm understanding this right, everybody else quoted limestone mix, except Chagrin.
Unless it was all spec'd out in gravel in the specs in the design and plan.
My problem with going along with it would be if, just for instance, Shelley was at $9,000 difference, and we're the ones awarding the contract, not the engineer.
Correct.
What did we just do to Shelley if we let this work around? Right? Get it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I understand. No, Nick said that he did send out a more detailed email to us. Nancy and I did not receive it. He was on the road today, sent an abbreviated email, and just gave us the amount of the upcharge. We can wait till Monday. The next meeting.
No, I agree.
I think we need clarification.
To be honest with you, I think we need to delve into it a little bit more. We do want limestone. I mean, in my book, we want limestone.
The other thing is a lot of the plants that they put on don't make it gravel. 402 mix at the top. I know Shalersville makes the gravel. I think the coasting just makes the limestone. They don't have it there. So.
Well, we want to have.
But they're pulling from
much stronger.
Allied. I can't remember which two plants, Allied and someone else. But we can hold off to the 18th. I can contact the engineer's office and let's ask for clarification. And
yeah, we could probably use some more. This will help a little bit here. Yeah, I'm sure we got it. If not right there.
It's the asphalt resurfacing project.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take that out. You want to look at it.
Sure.
These are the bids that came in.
Well, right there it tells you Carvo was within 8,000.
Right. 8,000. But I think, the real issue is also, did everybody quote the same
We need to know that too, right? Yeah, we need to know that too.
Yeah, right off the bat, if you said two of them within $10,000,
And then there's the 408. And
that's not too far off
that's
either.
13. Yeah, there's one bid there that's within less than 10.
right, this is
704.
plus cargo then. Okay. So that's what we need to do. Then is contact the engineers, and then I'll tell them. I'll talk with Nick and let him know that. Spell this out for us. Who's in error? Did they just themselves bid the gravel, or did everybody bid gravel? Was it in the specifications that the engineer sent out? That the engineer specified gravel? Would everybody be up there at 960,
Right.
or is it just Chagrin? So we'll find that out. And then if need be, if they want to hold on to the 19th or whatever and wait for approval, that's fine.
Okay. All right. That seems to be. All right. Well, we'll have a bunch of stuff for the next meeting. Anything else, guys?
What's the preventive maintenance?
Okay. Okay, this is the last next item. Talking to the chief, what we're looking at is a service plan, preventative maintenance for the HVAC at the fire station. And if you've been there to see that, it's a pretty significant number of, how many?
15 units.
15 individual units. And so they maintain it twice a year?
Semi-annual.
Semi-annually?
Season related.
Okay. Including alignment, combustion, control interlocks, damper operation, lubrication, inspection of all seals, calibration, adjustments, alignment, cleaning. Is that pretty solid contract? And so it's the $1,250 per inspection. That'll be $2,500 a year.
Did they install that?
No.
Obviously, John, your board is, what's their position?
Took me a while to find a good contractor, to be honest with you. But these guys, this has been the best contract I've seen out of anybody over the years that we've had people servicing our equipment.
This is Geauga Mechanical, Chardon, Ohio. I have no problem. It doesn't seem unreasonable for the amount of equipment.
This time they're going to be there at least a day. That's how I look at it. So, if you look at it from a time frame standpoint, it's reasonable.
Yeah. We've got a large investment in that. Equipment has to be maintained.
Huge investment. Right.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between Geauga Mechanical.
Yeah, I'll second that. That's a good idea.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Okay, you want to sign that on behalf of the fire department and then send it back in to us for reimbursement. Okay?
So that's going to come out of our section.
The maintenance. Yeah. Building maintenance. All right. Any other issues, Joe? Public comment. Diane.
Yes, thank you. I had questions about warrants 1832 as well as 1839. 1832 is Julian and Boone. 1839 is Kalala Insurance Company. And then I do have one other question comment.
Sure.
Identify that one.
1832 is payment for the auditing services that Julian Group provided to the township.
The auditing, correct?
The independent audit.
For the 2015 audit?
Yes.
Okay.
And 1839 is the canal insurance is life and accident and disability insurance we have for a certain amount of employees, not including elected officials.
Short-term disability for the department.
Right.
Thank you for clarifying that. And I'm just also verifying that you have received my second request for promotion that I spoke of about 2.5-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I just got back from vacation, so
Understood. Understood. Okay. So that one is still very important to me as well as the additional ones.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, and then going back to way at the beginning, I said we have some guest speakers. Jim, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Carol, Karma? Floor is yours.
Jim Zucchero with Summit Insurance, and I represent the Ohio Township Association Risk Management Authority, of which Auburn Township has been a member since 1991. OTARMRA is a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization owned by its nearly 1,000 townships in the state. And without going too much into the program, the benefits are far and away the broadest coverage document available to townships. The goal is to keep premiums stable throughout the years based on their unique exposures. I mentioned that it's a nonprofit owned by its members. This year you're going to get back slightly over $2,000 over your total contribution, as they're now returning profits, seems like every year. So your proportionate share is going to be about $2,000. Some recent development, there's full cyber liability coverage in the program. Like what happens all the time when they update the program or add coverage, you don't really need to do anything. It just happens. Like a couple of years ago, they took every township's liability limit from either $1 million or $2 million to a minimum of $3 million. Didn't make a contribution charge for that. There's a coverage called moral obligation to pay. There's full back wage coverage within the program. There's coverage for adjunctive relief. With new fiscal officers, a couple things I want to go over, even though I think we've talked about it. For planning purposes, you have a lot of dump trucks. If you, for instance, I'm not suggesting you want to or should, but if you were to get rid of your 2001 dump and get a 2014 or a 2015, the time to do that is right after the renewal, because we don't make any midterm contribution changes. So from a month from now would be a better time than right now to do something like that, because you kind of take a snapshot in time with property that you have and charge you based on that. Property is a little bit different. I said property, but I really meant vehicle. So if you buy a new building now or anytime, we're going to make a charge for that at that point in time. We break out property a few different ways. So although on the statement of values you see a limit of coverage per building and personal property within that building, we group it all together. You have slightly over $5 million for any one loss. So there might be a couple $100,000 at this building, and all the buildings total $5 million. If this building burned down, it really took $500,000 to rebuild. That's what you get. You're not limited to the amount that shows on the statement of values. You have a lot of other property that we call miscellaneous property. In the insurance world, it's known as inland marine. So it would cover equipment used by the road department, mowers, loader, grader, spreaders, really anything that's not always at the same location. So things that are used outside. And the total value for those items individually over $3,500 is $196,000 and change. And we list all those out. For those types of items that aren't $3,500 each or more, we group it together and we have $79,400. So as you acquire or dispose of those items, we should know about that so that it's updated this time of year. If you have an inventory list, we can work off that. Okay. The contribution this year is $25,495. Last year it was $25,072. There's a slight property increase. You have more property insured than you did last year. Anybody have any questions? I don't really have anything else earth-shattering, although, did you see the information on the Moore grant? It's a slam dunk $500 return to you. It's not really a grant, but you do spend any money on safety. And just submit it, they'll send you a check for $500. Okay. Anybody have any questions or problems? Nope. You're welcome to go.
guys forever. You did a good job for us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, you're welcome. You probably got this in the mail. I know you're on vacation. I just printed this proposal out if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. See ya.
Thank you.
So, mainly I work with Fred and Nancy. And,
That's why we have.
she does a good job.
She's a good girl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen? Me. Make a motion to adjourn.
So, right.